Hey, everybody. We are going to wait a couple minutes like usual. Give people a chance to log in. Probably won't have a very long meeting tonight. Doug and I will explain that in a little bit. Glad y'all could make it. Give us just another couple minutes. Going to get started here in just a few minutes. Starting to slow. All right, why don't we go ahead and get started? Hope everybody's doing well tonight. John Humphrey here, along with Doug Kennedy and some of our favorite attorneys in the background, making sure all this stuff works. Hope everybody's doing great. Happy February. I just want to welcome you all and let you know that we're going to have a pretty short meeting tonight. That's why you don't see the Q&A. We've been in mediation now for 3 weeks. I'm going to turn it over to Doug in just a moment because he's actually been a part of the mediation. And, you know, I got to tell you, just personally, mediation is one of those frustrating things, mostly because we can't really talk about anything that's been going on. And so we debated whether we were going to have a town hall tonight. Honestly, a lot of our professionals thought maybe we didn't have anything to say, so we shouldn't report it. And Doug and I kind of feel like even when we don't have anything to say, we need to let you guys know what's going on. So I want Doug to talk just a few minutes about the mediation process. And then I'm going to come back and review, the same things we've been talking about for the last year. But one thing I will say before I turn it over, Doug, is that the vote that you guys came through with has brought us back to the table with a real seat, and we are making meaningful progress in these mediations. And who knows, right? But obviously the fact that we're still mediating and we're still talking and we haven't told anybody to pound sand and them us is I think encouraging news. So Doug, what was your impression?
Yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate that. And I just want to reiterate what John said. We know people want answers. We know people want to know what's going on. We know a lot of people are trying to read the tea leaves and figure out, what this means. We know how frustrating this can be. And it's really a matter of timing. And as John said, we just wanted to let people know tonight where we are. And if things change, we'll have another meeting. We just thought that would be more valuable than just ghosting you guys for a week or two or however long. So as John mentioned, I had the opportunity to represent the TCC during mediation, in-person session of mediation over the course of a couple days. There have been, I don't know, thousands of files flying back and forth during all this process. This process is practically round the clock at this point, trying to get something done. As John mentioned, we can't talk about a lot because there is confidentiality. The parties want to be able to mediate in private and sort of make their offers, and sometimes they're accepted or rejected or modified, and that's part of the process. So we're really hamstrung what we can say. What I do want to report, though, is, as John mentioned, we are back at the negotiating table. We are being listened to. I will tell you that all parties, Boy Scouts, Coalition, insurers, ad hoc council, religious organizations, all parties have behaved respectfully. They have listened. I was really This was heartfelt in their response to what we had to say. Doesn't mean they agree with everything, but in no way, shape, or form is the TCC being ignored in this process. We are right in the middle of it, and we're trying to do what's best for all survivors on our three pinnacles of this, or foundation points. And I'll let John, that's John's story to tell. I'll let him talk about that a little bit. I also want to mention as well that we had some really good opportunity to chat with the mediator as well, Tim Gallagher, about what our specific concerns are. And I have personally found him to be a sincere, genuine, hardworking professional at this. So I think more than anything, I left mediation feeling like whether or not something works or it doesn't, and we hope that it does, we are not being ignored, and we are right in the middle of it. And that's where we wanted to be. And we really just want everybody to know out there how hard we're working now to make something happen. And we are on a daily basis. The 9 members of the TCC are communicating about this, and we'll be having meetings coming up to make some hard decisions. So that's kind of I know it's vague, but hopefully we'll have more to say when the mediation confidentiality is over.
We might get frustrated, but the reason that mediations are confidential, if you've never been in one, is that so people can put things out there and not get ratted out to a constituency that might, blame them personally. So there is some real powerful notions in the idea of confidentiality. What we've been saying for, at least the last 9 months since this vote was around the corner, was that if we could get to where we kept them from the 75+%, that would get us back to the table. And, that was our hope, and that was our prayer, and that is what happened. And we've been standing on these same 3 pillars: more money, youth protection, and better governance. And we're making progress on all 3 fronts. I will tell you, on the youth protection, I'm real proud of Doug. He picked up the mantle and met with the BSA and the mediators and counsel, and really hashed it out in a really calm and substantial meeting. I was impressed that the BSA was listening. It seems like kind of a no-brainer from my perspective. Make youth protection a cornerstone and a pillar, and your membership will grow. And so thanks to you, Doug, for doing that.
Well, first of all, that's not deserved at all. We've been sharing documents within the TCC and got an excellent response from all them, as well as all their state court councils, and nothing is done yet. But more than anything, we've gotten our point across, and we're going to continue to negotiate. And that's one of the 3 pillars that we hope to get some degree of settlement on. And John's now going to explain also what tomorrow means or doesn't, because we have to sort of thread the needle on this language.
So before I go there, Jug, we talk about governance, and I was pretty harsh in a lot of my videos about what I thought getting beat on governance meant to the trust. But if we can get, I've only spoken in court one time in the last 2+ years, and that was to tell the judge that the most important thing to survivors was to have a trustee that was above reproach and independent, that didn't ordinarily work with any of these law firms, our law firm or anybody else's law firms, and they could be impartial, and they could bring critical structure to the organization. I mean, this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar enterprise with lots of expenses, and the trustee is the CEO of that enterprise. And so, if we can't get the kind of money that we may think we want in the numerator, then what you do is you go after the denominator and you go after the expenses. And so having that kind of structure where we're going to spend less of your money in the trust is money. And I think that's what I really want to communicate to you guys, is that having that right structure is money in the bank. The last thing, if you guys are watching the schedules, that tomorrow is the deadline for filing our objections. I would just say we're deep into mediation. We're making pretty good progress, and I wouldn't be surprised if nothing gets filed. We've reserved all of our rights. we're making substantial progress. And so you can read between the lines on that. Once again, I just want to thank you for your support and the vote. I think it's going to end up being a better deal one way or another for survivors. And we think,
Yeah, and if we can work something out, we want everyone to feel like the TCC is behind it. And if we can't come to an agreement, then we want everyone to know how hard we're working to try and achieve that. And that was the decision we came up with, and it wasn't taken lightly.
And also know that we're not afraid to not blink
right
in this great game of chicken that we've got going on. So thanks, everybody. Have a great February. Keep an eye on the TCC BSA website. I was out there today. All of the local council or the majority of the local council stuff is out there. If you want to ask questions, the TCC questions at pscjlaw.com is still out there. TCC BSA has all the current information. So if there's some impromptu meeting that we're going to have, it'll be out there. So put it in a bookmark, and we'll go from there. Thanks for joining.
Stay strong. Stay strong, everybody. Thanks, John.
Good night.